Alrighty guys, welcome to Dub Saw Shop. Today we got a treat especial for all the kind of new people getting into this. If you've been doing this thing for a while, this is probably not the video for you. But today we got a crank. We pulled the cases apart and the bearings are still on the crank. And we need to get them off. We got us a bearing splitter kit, and today gonna show you how to do it. Alrighty guys, so here's the bearing puller kit, and if you're kind of new to this thing, you're going to buy this kit and it is probably going to blow your mind. You got all these bits and pieces, no directions on how to use it, but today we're going to show you how to take all these pieces and turn them into something amazing. First off, I would just like to say you got three different ways of pulling here. You got the smaller clamp style puller, the large clamp style puller, and then you got your jaws, where if you need to hook it around something and pull, that's what these are for. These will not work for what we need to do today. So let me start out by saying most of the time on chainsaws and stuff you're going to be using the small one. And I did have to modify these. I think you can tell there, I just took my little Dremel, got in there, and pretty much just thinned it out as much as possible, because them bearings sit pretty flush on the crank and you need a way to clamp under the bearing. Let's move over to the crank, show y'all how to install this. First, I do want to say the longer ones, they fit in either or. They fit in either of the pullers. It just depends on how far down you need to get to pull. You may have to add this one to this one, you know what I'm saying? To get down where you need to. But for the most part, these little small ones work just fine. And it's what we're going to be using today. Just two of them. You got these two in case you need to go longer as well. Let's move over. Now, I already pulled one bearing off of this crank, not thinking maybe I need to do a video on it. So we only have one to do. Pretty much you want to take your clamp, you want to open this thing up to where you can get it around. Now, a lot of times this bearing, this one actually pulled up a little bit off of its seat, coming at the case. But a lot of times these things are smack down flush against the crank web. Same deal though, you just lay your puller there, just barely get it over to it, and then you just start tightening it up and try to keep both sides even. It's not the end of the world if it's not even, but absolutely does help. Now you don't have to be far under it at all, you just got to be far enough to where that little lip has something to pull on. So we're going to stop right here. And then you want to go ahead and take your end without the nut and washers. Screw it on to the puller. Now also, when I do my puller, I like to get it to where I'm pulling against the large part of the crank and where the pin is. That way this has something to sit on and get as much stability as you can. But for sakes, this one's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to do it like this. Go ahead and take your nuts off and one washer. These may not be put together when you get it, but if not, put one washer on. And go figure I drop one. Now what you want to do is take your little bracket, sit it up there, drop your washers on. Now those washers at the bottom just give this thing stability to sit on. Do you need them? No. Does it help? Absolutely. None of this stuff has to be truly tight. Just get it down snug. Doesn't have to be stupid tight. Now leave these loose for now. That way you have a way to center up your pin to get down to your crank. Now you want to find your puller, your little pusher. It'll have a little teat on the bottom. And you want to start screwing that down. And then just kind of get under it and eyeball this center of the crank. Just get it where it's going to be pulling directly parallel with the crank. And then you can snug these two down. Now that's what your setup should look like. Be sure your crank's in something rigid because you're going to be tweaking and torquing. Then these most time 3/4. And you may have to hold this, keep it from spinning, and then just turn. Turn, 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 turn. Alright, there she broke loose. Some of these bearings are a little tighter than others. And then you just lift her up. There she is. Drop your bearing out. Reverse the assembly on taking it apart. Now I always do recommend go ahead, break this thing all the way down, put it back in the case. That way, the next time you need it, it'll be there. This is how you use a bearing puller on a crank. You can find 1,000 things to use this for. All kinds of stuff. This and a slide hammer kit is probably one of the greatest things to have around in your shop. Definitely will make life a lot easier in these little sticky situations. So, I hope this little tutorial helped somebody. Y'all shoot me that like, hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if this helped you or not. You guys, have a great night. Dubs, we out.